June starts the busy summer season for national parks. While June is a great time to visit many national parks, Yellowstone, Denali, and Kenai Fjords are 3 top national parks to visit. After visiting 56 out of the 62 official national parks, people often ask me, what is my favorite park? Well, Yellowstone is the one for me. Why Yellowstone? It is the one park that has so many world-class scenery packed into one place. Yellowstone is just waking up from the winter slumber in June, when daytime temperature is in the 60s and nighttime temperature averages above freezing. While July and August brings warmer weather, they also bring a lot of people. That makes June a good compromise between weather and crowds. September is also a good time to visit though. Yellowstone is a big park. It's a good idea to stay inside the park if you can. The lodges and campgrounds book up well ahead of time, so plan ahead, a year ahead. There is so much to see at Yellowstone. Where shall we begin? Well, let's start with geothermal features that are the best in the world. Of course, there is the world-famous Old Faithful, which erupts on a schedule. Then there's the beautiful and colorful prismatic springs. Add to that Mammoth Hot Springs and Carolina Terrace. There are many pristine hot pools. Some right next to the beautiful Lake Yellowstone in the West Thumb area. Then there are steam vents. Boiling mud pots. Smoke rising from the landscape. Yellowstone has one of the most beautiful canyons in the world, the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, with its colorful cliffs and lower Yellowstone Falls. Oh, you want a lake? Yellowstone has that too. Lake Yellowstone is as beautiful as the other lakes in the national parks and larger than many. Shoshone Lake has the honor of being the largest lake that's not accessible by a road. The 3-mile hike on a flat terrain from the road to the lake is just beautiful. What about mountain streams, you say? Well, Yellowstone has plenty of that too. Firehole River has sections of rushing waters and meandering streams. There are majestic waterfalls that rival Yosemite, like Lower Yellowstone Falls and Tower Falls. You want to see wildlife? Yellowstone has plenty of that too. Lamar Valley is famous for wildlife, especially at dusk or dawn. Of course, there is the ever-present bison, but also lots of birds, pronghorn, bear, mountain goats, and the elusive wolf too. There's even petrified wood and an arch at Yellowstone. Quaysides at Yellowstone can feel like a theme park with crowds during the middle of the day. If you go before 10 or after 5, you will find better parking, fewer buses, and it will look even more beautiful in the softer morning or afternoon light. During the middle of the day, go for a hike and you feel like you have the park almost all to yourself. Yellowstone has so much packed into one place, and June is a great time to visit. Check out the 2 videos and the blog posts in the description box below for a more in-depth look at the best national park in America. Denali is big. It's 4.7 million acres big. It's bigger than Connecticut, Delaware, and Rhode Island. It has the tallest peak in North America at more than 20,000 feet. Everything just feels bigger in Alaska, and Denali symbolizes that grandness. Why is Denali one of the top 3 national parks to visit in June? Because Denali has one of the most beautiful and grand scenery, and great opportunities for wildlife viewing. The Denali season runs May to September, but the park does not fully open until the start of June. June is just warm enough, with daytime average highs in the 60s. It also has the longest daylight that is great for outdoor activities. During early June, the mosquitoes are not that bad yet, and the wildflowers are blooming. And the cruise ship crowd has not arrived en masse yet. One of the waitresses we met goes for midnight hikes all the time in June. June is the best month to visit Denali. If you are into backcountry hiking, Denali is there for you to explore to your heart's content. But if you, like us, are not that hardy, the tour bus is the way to go. As big as Denali is, there is only one 93-mile road into the park. The first 14 miles to Savage River is paved and you can drive it. But for the rest of the way, it's a gravel road that hugs a cliff and barely wide enough for 2 buses. The best way to see the park for mere mortals like us is to take the bus tour. There is a half-day tour and a full-day tour. These are narrated and drivers are very experienced wildlife spotters. These are great ways to view wildlife. If you want to do some off-trail hiking or want a less expensive way to see the park, take the shuttle bus that can drop you off and pick you up anywhere along the road. There are some marked trails around the Savage River area and the main visitor center that are excellent. There is even a dog kennel that trains sled dogs for ranger use in the winter to haul supply to remote areas. If your budget allows, a flight seeing tour gives you a view to truly appreciate the vastness and the majestic mountains. A Denali visit takes planning unless you are with a tour group. While it's expensive to visit, the scenery and wildlife are just outstanding. See the Denali video and blog entry in the description box below for planning tips. Kenai Fjords is one of the lesser-known national parks, but it is so much fun to visit. With daytime temperature in the 60s, June is a great time to take in this park. Most people visit 2 places in the park. First is the boat tour that goes to the fjords and the glaciers at the fjords. Second is the exit glacier area, where you can get close to a glacier and see the speed with which the glaciers are retreating. There are many concessionaires that run boat tours, but check with the National Park Service site for the list of approved operators. We took the major marine tour and it was excellent. The scenery is just magnificent with tall peaks and steep cliffs right into the water's edge. We lingered near a glacier and had a great lunch on board while watching the ice calve into the water with its signature crackling sound. There were plenty of wildlife spotted along the way, starting with the bald eagle even before we left the harbor. The boat tour is a must-do at Kenai Fjords. The hiking trails at Exit Glacier are beautiful. They used to get you very close to the glacier, but the glacier retreated at such a rapid pace, the trails could not be extended fast enough to keep pace. For the more adventurous, an 8-hour round-trip hike up the Harding Glacier Trail takes you right up to the top of Exit Glacier, which is part of the Harding ice field that is bigger than Rhode Island. The full video of Kenai Fjord and the blog entry are in the description box below. Check it out for the full story. June opens up a lot of possibilities for national parks as the weather gets warmer. Yellowstone, Denali, and Kenai Fjords are my top 3 picks for June. We are on our way to visit all the national parks in the United States. Follow along by hitting the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell so you know when a new video is released. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and please share it with everybody that you know.